All right. Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing?
Right.
Welcome to Lakeway Regional Medical Center Forum. We want to really appreciate the people for y'all coming out on a Tuesday night to hear a little bit about what's going on with the hospital, a little bit about what's going on in the real estate market. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about my stuff because we want to honor our guest of honor, David Kreye, the CEO of the hospital. We appreciate him coming and taking his time. It's not like he's busy or anything at this point in time, right? Building a $210 million hospital. We thank Brandon also for showing up, business development, Brandon Moreno. And we also like to thank our sponsors, and I'll go through those sponsors in a second here, but really appreciate it. And one of the things that was kind of fun, we also got another guest to honor, our newest family doctor for Lakeway, which is Dr. Kevin Hoffarth, who will be, he'll be talking a little bit, just a couple minutes after me. And so if you need a family doctor, I know we need one, he'll be working at the Lakeway Regional Medical Center at the LRMC Family Practice. One of the things that was fun, it's been really fun, is that Kevin and Dr. Hoffarth and his wife, we've been filming a show of house hunters, and this is the second day of house hunters here in Lakeway, featuring our wonderful community here of Lakeway, and boy, are our feet tired. So, because we have to do everything twice, and we have to do each house. We have to do. We've done two already, and they're big houses, and then tomorrow we're going to do another one. So it's going to be neat. It'll be on HGTV. It'll be probably this summer. And so please fill out one of those forms that you have in there. We'll keep you informed of all the stuff that whatever David releases to us from the hospital, news and stuff like that from him, because we want to get the right information. Because actually the way I met David was that I do a lot of YouTube videos. And one of the biggest things, I actually have the #1 YouTube video channel in the nation for real estate, approaching 10 million views. So it's a very popular video channel, and I put some videos up there using the information that I received from certain publications that were overinflated about what was going on in the hospital. So David called me in when he joined the hospital, and he says, "Mr. Renner," and I said, "Yes, sir." He says, "You don't represent this hospital." I said, "No, I don't, sir." And he goes, "But I like what you're doing." So he said, "You just got to take a few things down about anything representing about employment or anything like this." And I said, "Can I talk about real estate and what your hospital is going to do for the market?" And he said, "Absolutely, that's okay." But so I'm very, very firm with what he wants me to do, allow me. And what was really good, I said, "Well, David, why don't you just come to our market centers and to our forums and tell us what the right stuff is?" And that's how this got started. So this is the third one that we've done, and we're excited about when the hospital is going to open up next month, and I won't steal any thunder there. But I really wanted to talk to you about a little bit about the Austin market, a little bit about the Lakeway market. Not going to spend a lot of time on that because we want to hear what the CEO has to say. Okay, my name is Kenn Renner again, Keller Williams Lake Travis Market Center. Over $100 million in real estate in the last 6 years. Over $250 million in my career. Been in real estate. This is my 29th year. So I'm here also. My intention is to help anybody in this room or friends or relatives, referrals, try to help you with your real estate needs, whether it be leasing or sales or buy, sell, or invest. I'd like to thank our sponsors for being here and helping us out. Silverton Custom Homes, who builds in Flint Rock Falls. You've got a flyer and a brochure there. Welcome to take that with you. They also build out, guess what we're doing, a subdivision out at Willie Nelson's Ranch. Actually, they're partners with Willie Nelson, and they have lots for sale out there. We also appreciate BBA Compass with Karen and Lisa. They were actually instrumental in getting Dr. Hoffarth his loan and pushing that through, and so we appreciate that. But I also opened up my bank account with Compass, and I can tell you, I took it away from one of those other my account from another one of those big name banks, and I can tell you they didn't even know I was gone. When I opened up my account with Compass, they called me, they introduced it, they knew me by name. They opened the doors after hours to let me go in and cash a check. I mean, it was like phenomenal. They called me. They even had one of your 800 numbers, people called me to see how the experience was. So we appreciate Compass. They're right down the street, and we'll talk a little bit about their programs. Prominence Homes is another builder that builds in Flint Rock Falls, and also the Vistas at Lakeway, which is right behind the new Goodwill. We thank the Chamber of Commerce. Anybody here from the Chamber of Commerce? Okay. Well, they were nice enough to sponsor us, and of course, Dr. Hoffarth. All right. Okay, so we just wanted to want to give a little bit of expert insight, answer any questions, and then give opportunities for give and take on what's going to happen with the hospital. And if you have any questions about real estate, I'm available, and you've got my numbers there. And please do fill out those forms, and I'll send you all the greatest information on real estate. Okay, I just want to give you an overview of the Austin area, Austin market. This is very interesting statistics where active listings for the entire MSA is 6,560 listings. Now I can remember not long ago we were at 12,000 and 10,000. In fact, when I did the forum in November, we were at 8,800. So what we're seeing is an incredible drop in the amount of listings in the Austin area. There is active days on the market are still long, but what we're seeing is a very active market. We're seeing that the market has shifted in a lot of markets from a buyer's going into a seller's market. The only problem is a lot of the buyers don't know it yet. So we have to let them know that, and they don't know it until they get caught in a multiple offer situation, lose 3 or 4 houses, and then they realize, hey, we're in a seller's market in this. Yes, you are. And so that's even happened right here in our own market. The average sales price is $260,000, $250,000, which we're selling about 96-97% of sales price, which is pretty good, solid percentage. The entire MLS there's only 5.1 months of inventory, which is, as that goes down, that's probably an equilibrium market between sellers and buyers market. And the lowest inventory is under 150,000, obviously. There are a lot of investors going, a lot of first-time home buyers buying in that price point. It's only 3.4 months. That is definitely a buyer's market. I'm sorry, definitely a seller's market. Highest inventory, of course, back is the 1 million and plus with still 24 months, but that's dramatically down from where it was just just not too long ago, we had a 60-month supply of homes over $1 million. So now we're really seeing that that's starting to firm up. We're seeing a lot of cash offers too, which is very interesting. Lake South, that's where we're at. This whole general area around Lake Travis, Lake South, between Eanes and 8W, and we're right in the middle of the whole Lake South area. Average time is 134 days on the market, which is about in line with Austin, a little bit more. Average list price is $490,000, and the average sold price is $467,000. So we're getting about 95-96% of sales price. And one thing that you can realize is that you can take notes, but if you need to find this information, this PowerPoint will be on my website, which is Lakeway Regional Medical Center Forum.com. So you can refer back to these numbers. Come on in. Okay, so Lake South MLS, the months of inventory is 9.3 months. So we're a little bit longer because we have more of that higher end price point. Lowest inventory, of course, is back down to that low end, 4.5 months. Highest inventory is between 1 million, is above 1 million at 23.1 months. What we usually see in a real estate cycle is the low end starts the whole real estate cycle. When the low end starts selling, then they move up and buy the middle end, and then the middle end starts selling. They're able to go ahead and purchase higher priced properties. The second thing that's affecting that is the loosening up of the credit standards. I'm not saying that the pendulum swung way too far one way where it was very, very difficult to get a loan recently. Now it's starting to swing back, and even local banks are stepping up to the plate to fill the gap on financing. Still not the way it was. It's not you can't just fog a mirror and get a loan. You do have to qualify. So, okay, Austin area rental stats. This will be interesting for the hospital folks to realize, and I think they know once they get out here, is that last summer we fell to a four homes on the market in the 78738 zip code. We're in 34. Next to us is 38. 4 homes. That was and citywide we were down between a half and a 1.1 month supply of rentals available in this market. There's an article that my assistant sent me from the Austin Chronicle says that in rental market right now, we're not talking about Austin being an affordable place to live. They're raising those rents. Good news for investors. Rental rates citywide, the rates themselves were up 7% in the last year. That's a pretty big jump. If you think about $1,500 rent, it goes up by almost $120. Now you're paying $1,620. So occupancy is 97%, and it's really the 3% that's not being occupied is really probably a place you don't want to live, really. So we are almost 100% occupancy, and that's citywide. When you start talking about Lakeway and what's going to happen with the influx of not only the jobs for the hospital, but those jobs that they support. We're going to be into a rental shortage. I'll show you some numbers. Right now in Lake South, we have 40 total active homes in the entire area for lease. The average days on the market is 39 days. That's a pretty quick turnaround on leasing. And in the last 6 months, there's been 162 homes leased. So the absorption rate's about almost 30 a month. And so we actually have a 1.48 month supply, a 1.5 month supply. It's a very low supply of homes available for lease. And that plays in a lot with the hospital, because we are in the highest demographic income-wise in the state of Texas. So a lot of the hospital workers and people that support those hospital workers are going to be scrambling for those lower end rentals. Yes.
Is there an average lease price?
We'll get in there. Yeah, kind of really. 78734, our neighboring zip code. 22 active homes on the market right now. We're actually in 78734. That goes all the way out to about to the dam from here. And 22 actives. Once again, 1.37 month supply. Very, very low supply of homes on the market. 78738, which is this way towards Falcon Head West and out that way, only 7 houses available for lease. So that is for a whole zip code. That's pretty low. Supply is 1.3 months, and there's your average lease price. It's about $1 per square foot. I mean, if you want to, I can get you some really good stats on that. But that, looking at the numbers, depending on where you're at, is between $95 and $1.10 per square foot. And it could be higher for more luxury properties as well. Okay, so what's ahead for us? We're looking at a mass immigration to Lakeway. Well, maybe not, but this is where people want to live. We know that. Eanes and Eanes School District, Westlake, really, they're pretty much out of subdivisions. Senate Hills is about the last one. There is no new one. So, and we have the Lake Travis Independent School District, go Cavs. So, we have the place where people are wanting to move. So we're excited about that. And we also have the highest income demographic in the state. The 5-mile radius. I actually got that statistic from David in one of their studies that they did. Okay, just quickly on some of these subdivisions that just give you a little update what's going on. Falcon Head West is nearing its closeout. Rocky Creek is kind of the replacement for Falcon Head West. That's out Hamilton Pools Road. Flint Rock is doing well, and that's right adjacent to the hospital. And I've got 20 lots for sale in Flint Rock, which is for custom homes, both on the golf course and off, and that's with Silverton Custom Homes, who I'm representing. Or you can build a custom home with them as well. Rough Hollow is doing well, and in fact, that's where Dr. Hoffarth just purchased his home. Got a wonderful home in Rough Hollow. It's doing well. The new water park, is it supposed to open in 2012? This summer? Is it August? Okay, all right. So new water park. The preserve's doing well. Serene Hills is open. They're cutting out the land. Serene Hills Road, right there between 71 and Flint Rock Falls. That area is breaking ground. Ladera Ranch, which is behind the Home Depot, is really going to benefit from the hospital. Actually, really good that we have home prices that are going to start in the mid to high 2s, which is that price point that's hard to get. Brand new homes, and they're talking about townhomes potentially as well. So that's going to be a really good area for feeding into the hospital. And I think I just saw a newspaper article about Morningside, an area right there by Home Depot that's supposed to open up, or they're getting approvals for that. So obviously the growth is out to the west. Oh, back to Ladera, that's Taylor Morrison who's building in there. Okay, growth is out to the west, 71 corridor. Out there we have the new Sweetwater. Actually, it's the old Sweetwater, new Sweetwater. It's a large development, over 1,000 potential lots, and it's, is it 1,000 lots or 1,000 acres? Sorry, but it's out 71. So hey, you guys, you know the figures on Sweetwater. What is it? No? All right. Anyway, Sweetwater's out that way. So there we go. So it's an opportunity. I won't take any much of your time, but there's an opportunity, great time to buy or invest. That's what I want to hook up with you guys. If you want to know anything about real estate, about investing, that's what I'm here to help out with. Low supply, high demand, low interest rates, less investors, more renters. The renters are scrambling for rental property. If you buy, sell, or invest, there's my numbers, 512-423-5626. Call or text me. And there's my website, email address, ken@byaustin.com. All right, next, want to thank the sponsors. This is a little pitch from the Lake Travis Chamber of Commerce. They're having their Spring Fest, April 28, 2012. Vendors, live music, Kids Zone, barbecue cook-off, and boat expo. It's going to be a lot of fun. Silverton Custom Homes built over 2,000 homes in the Austin area, the Central Texas area, currently offering homes and to be built in the home sites. Flit Rock Falls, 20 home sites starting from the mid-150s, and they'll build homes for you over 700,000 in the same area. We got Willie Nelson's ranch. We got 40 gated lots out there on his ranch. It has views of the Pedernales Greenbelt. The Pedernales arm of the Lake Travis when it fills up again. 1 acres, 30 to 50 mile views, 15 minutes from the hospital, and sites priced from the low hundreds. All right, if you want any information on that, I can help you with that. This is my buddies at Prominence Homes. They're going right behind the new Goodwill. They took over the Toll Brothers project. They're building about 70 new, really nice villas. They're paired villas, a fancy name for a duplex, but they're going to be priced from the mid-twos. Perfect price range for people going to work at the hospital. I have one more opportunity, the last of the townhomes that we have that's available right now, and that house is listed, that condo townhome, 2,500 square feet, listed for $269,900. All right, and then Flit Rock Falls, same area. This is the home we just did our House Hunters episode today, and that's in Prominence Homes, starting from the high 300s. Gated Jack Nicklaus Golf Course community. There's 4 finished homes, and more are coming. All right, Compass Bank. We appreciate your sponsorship and for you showing up. Great customer service. We already talked about that. Local and international. This is first-time home buyers. This program is phenomenal. It's no payments for 3 months, no closing costs, no PMI, with only 5% down. What that means is saving thousands and thousands of dollars. Okay. The reason why I'm doing this presentation with Compass is and they're sponsoring. I'm not allowed to have them talk in the market centers because we have a market service agreement with United Lending. That's my little caveat here that I have to tell us. But I can talk about it because I don't work for Compass. They have a doctors and professionals loan. That's 5% down up to $1 million. So, and Dr. Hoffarth got his loan from them, and so it was a really good. It was a good deal when it closed. All right, foreign nationals with 25% down. When it was 25% down, people that don't even have a green card, is that correct? No green card? Make sure. No green card. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of foreign money coming in here. A lot of people getting out of Mexico and areas where they're not feeling as the crime rate's high, and we're seeing people like even from Spain, other parts of the world are moving here, but they're foreign nationals. So they don't have ways of getting financing. Well, there's the Compass Bank can do that. And then, of course, construction and one-time closes. All right, well, I think I'm done talking enough. We're going to this is LRMC Family Medicine. Is that is that the official name? Okay, I got to get your .com for you. We're going to have Dr. Kevin Hoffarth, our newest family doctor, come and talk. He will be stationed right there at the hospital in the new building, the 3-story building that David's building or the surgical partners are building. He'll be the only family doctor, David, or is he the only family doctor that's employed by the hospital?
In that building, yes.
Okay, in that building, yes. Okay, and I'll let him talk about himself. But that actually, we took that picture as we were. That's his wife, Krista. And we got the beautiful child, Charlie, and we took that picture today while we were filming House Hunters. I need you to.
Thank you, Ken.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
you can just hold it.
Yeah. So when Ken said we were doing the House Hunters, we are exhausted. I have a new respect for actors. I'm definitely going to keep my day job. So I just want to talk briefly. When Ken mentions that there is a lot of growth to this area, he's absolutely right. I'm definitely one of the people. About 3 years ago, I delivered my girl, and about 18 months later, my wife says, we're not raising her here. And we come from South Lake Tahoe, California. We've been living there for almost 10 years now, and I was doing everything there. I love the city, and so I knew it was going to be really hard to find a city that was warm and inviting, but yet kind of had a small town feel. And so we did a 150 city search, and Austin actually was number one. And we came from Dallas. Actually, that was one of my last pit stops, where everybody in Dallas was saying, you want to live in Austin. So I was like, you guys aren't really trying to sell this for me. So we drove down here. We ended up actually in Lakeway when we did a Trulia search. So for those of you who, that's what we used the entire search process. And we actually found Lakeway. We ended up kind of at the Eagle. I'm still trying to learn the names. That Eagle, Falcon Crest, yeah. And yeah, Eagle, Falcon, it's all the same. And actually, Kenn has been extraordinarily helpful. When I did a Google search, his name came up everywhere, and his name was there in like the first 100 spots I think I looked at. So I contacted Kenn, but I basically needed a job beforehand. He actually connected me with Dave, because I quite frankly didn't want to find a place but not have a job. So the job was kind of number one for me. So I found Dave. We started talking, but it was a year out from the opening of the hospital, and so he wasn't hiring. So I did a bunch of interviews at Seton and all that, and quite frankly, they were all kind of boring. And Dave and I got back in contact with each other this summer, and he knew I was the doctor who does a lot. Where I'm come from, I was delivering. I was doing the ICU. I was doing the hospitals. I was doing the colonoscopies. I do a lot of internal hemorrhoid treatments. Sorry, this is disgusting anybody. And I literally do babies all the way up to, it says birth to death, and that's basically what we did because there was no specialist in our town. So Dave was going to give me an opportunity to be a one-stop shop, and that's what I want this practice to be. And so, I really want to invite everybody. I think my strength is that I'm really good listener, and people feel really comfortable with me when on a one-on-one basis. And I definitely individualize medicine. I do not do cookie cutter medicine. So Dave was really giving me that opportunity to be that guy. So I'm bringing in my PA, who I helped teach in Tahoe, and her name is Tira, and she's moving out here as well. So we've been in the home process and looking, and Lakeway is exactly the feel of Tahoe, and I'm really excited. It's a very small town. I can tell you get to know people very quickly. Already I recognize some faces. I mean, Karen and Lisa at Compass, they were great. I've actually never been to a bank where they knew my name, quite frankly, and even a small town. And so they got me a loan, and this is a hard market to get loans, even when you have a good job. So, they did a fabulous job. Kenn has been instrumental in getting me not just our house that we did in a day and a half, because that's all I had, but, to help find Dave. And then Dave and Brandon have been fantastic, to work with, and I give them a lot of credit because, it's daunting to start a practice, and here they're starting a hospital. So God bless them for doing that. So I appreciate the time. We will be opening our doors as soon as the medical office building opens. I'm not quite sure when that is yet, but we're kind of thinking, I think, end of May, 1st of June, approximately. Oh, further, okay. That just means more vacation time for me. So, but that's definitely, I am the only family doc in that building. So I'll be on the 3rd floor, and quite frankly, I have no patience. So please feel free to come. Yeah, get set, ready to go. I'm ready, and I'm very, yeah. So, but I'm very comfortable. I do a lot of, because I'm a guy. I do tend to pull in a lot of males, and so I do a lot of men's health. I also do a ton of kids, ton of geriatrics. My female partner, she tends to draw the females. So, but you know what? If you're female and you prefer male or vice versa, we're good. I'm not uncomfortable with it, as long as you're not. More importantly is that you are comfortable with me. It's not about me, it's about your care. And so that's what I want to make sure you guys pass on. And if you're comfortable, hopefully, it's a small town. That's how it worked in Tahoe. It was word of mouth. So I'm hoping that you can, get to know me one-on-one. I love getting to know people on a very personal basis because I think then I can give you the best care because I know then what you need, not what everybody's telling you need. I don't listen to everybody else. I listen to you. So that is the kind of doc I want to be here as well as when I was in Tahoe. So I'm going to pass it on to Dave, and after I pass it on to Ken, and
Thanks, appreciate it.
thank you for the time.
No, thank you. Appreciate it. Well, Kevin, I appreciate that, and we'll watch him on the House Hunters episode coming up here. Just don't tell which house he bought. And David, actually, you got your first patient. It's me. We're looking for a family doctor, and we got kids too. So we'll turn it over to Dave. Thank you once
I don't
again
think
for
that
coming.
thing's on.
Oh no,
Everybody
come
hear me
on.
okay?
No, we need it for this. We're streaming it live.
Oh.
Yeah, you can. He's live and worldwide right now. Just flip it to your lapel and put it
Worldwide. Thank you, sir. Well, thanks everybody for coming. And I can attest that our opinion of Kevin is very, very high. We've had, I want to say a lot, but we've had many, many physicians approach us about partnering with us in one way or another. We've been remarkably selective on who we partner with. So that's a testament to Kevin. And he made it pretty clear to me up front that he does things his way, and that's the way it's going to be, damn it. So I said, okay, that works out great for us. And the way we try to set it up with the physicians, because hospitals are notoriously bad at running physician practices, fair? Is we try to just put it all kind of back on the doctor's shoulders and say, we'll give you the staff you need, but you have to, it's your kingdom, you have to run it. And a lot of docs aren't comfortable with that because they want to kind of be spoon-fed or say, well, I don't want to have to think much, I just want to show up in the morning and go home at night and not be bothered. So that's really not what we're looking for. So we're glad Kevin's here, and we will get the medical office building complete as soon as humanly possible. We ran into a small glitch in that building. We have the core and shell done, the outside and the inside hallways, and the elevators are done. And then the next step is the tenant improvement process. If there's any builders in here or construction folks, you guys understand this better than me. And the first bid that came back for the tenant improvement was at $128 a square foot. Is that a ridiculous number? Yeah. We didn't spec any solid gold, so we suspect that was a high number. So we're going to spend probably 3 weeks getting that rebid. So keep your costs down, Kevin. That's right. Okay. Anybody want to hear about the hospital?
Yeah.
Okay. It's not that exciting, I promise you. The questions are the most fun. The mission of the hospital is to the delivery of compassionate and exceptional health care that improves the quality of life for our patients, our physicians, our healthcare team, and the community we serve. The vision of Lakeway Regional Medical Center is to be the best to all we serve by providing exceptional, patient-focused care with respect and compassion, contributing to the communities we serve through awareness, education, community participation, managing resources with responsibility and accountability, being a preferred employer that instills pride and a commitment to excellence. We'll skip this stuff. And most of my presentation is built off of questions that we've had in the past. We try to integrate those into the next presentation so I can try to answer more questions before they're asked. However, I'm sure you'll have a lot more. Our service area, we imagine our service area to kind of go north of Steiner Ranch a little bit, somewhere down towards Dripping Springs, and then out towards the west towards Marble Falls. We're not really sure where that cutoff line will be, depending on what happens in Marble Falls as well. We have physicians from Marble Falls that are applying for staff privileges at our hospital. And as we go to the east, I think as the closer you get to 360, the less patients will draw from there, because so many folks from there are used to, kind of heading east for everything. That's a tough habit for us to break. But we imagine our primary service area to contain about 100,000 people. And we also know that, like Ken has reported, this is a very fast-growing area. You talk to the city manager and the mayor of Bee Caves, and they talk about 10,000 new homes being platted, some Sweetwater, to be built over the next 5, 7, 8 years. So that's exciting to be part of that. And it's kind of a humbling and it's a great honor to be part of putting together a hospital that will serve this community and kind of be a difference maker for this community for a long, long time. Our governance structure is set up through a hospital board. It's got 7 members. That includes physicians and investors. We have a community advisory board, which meets quarterly, and a physician advisory board. The hospital will have all private rooms. We'll have a complete electronic medical record. We are privately funded. We have a big fat mortgage, just like everybody else, on your home and your business. We will be Silver LEED certified, which means we'll be green friendly. Physicians will participate in the hospital management process. We have an 8-story parking garage with 575 spaces, which jacks up Kevin's rent a little bit. Kevin's talked a little bit about the medical office building, which is 54,000 square feet. Will contain a lot of different specialties, as well as some hospital space. We'll have 6 operating rooms to open, 2 C-section suites, 22 emergency rooms, 6 labor and delivery suites, 20 critical care beds. We'll have the latest technology for CT, MRI, and OR. Helicopter pad is on the roof. We have an 8-bed neonatology unit. All beds will be supported by telemetry, which means we can monitor your heart from anywhere in the hospital. Our staffing plan is on schedule, some cases a little ahead of schedule, a couple places a little behind schedule. And the physicians will screen the medical staff for membership. So as other physicians apply for medical staff privileges, we have a group of physicians that screen their colleagues for membership. Our construction is on schedule. The hospital has a very strong balance sheet, and we're in a very strong financial position. We'll have about 275,000 square feet when we open. We have the 6th floor, which is designated right now as storage space, but we have plumbing in there and electrical runs, so we can add an additional 40 inpatient beds on very quick order. And we're waiting to figure out what specialties will really kick off. Maybe it's orthopedics, maybe it's general surgery or something else. And then we'll build the suite from there. So we have 106 beds when we open. And I used to tell folks that we'll have about 125 members on the medical staff. Brandon, we're at 190 applications at this point. So I think early on part of the discussion was, well, what doctors will come out here? And now the discussion is, man, they're pounded down the door. How do we make sure that we don't create a situation where we have everybody competing for, just a little bit of business and try to do it intelligently? 9 stories, we have 6 stories up and 3 stories down. We'll have about 225, 250 employees at opening. And I'm going to read a long list of services. And the reason I read this list of services is to let everybody know that we're a full-service acute care hospital. What's that? Somewhere going to be 225 approximate. And then we'll grow from there. We imagine that our patient census will start out pretty low, and then it will grow and grow, and then it will really grow fast. Based on what's happened in other markets, based on what's happened in this market as hospitals have opened. And if you think about the little hospital down off 290 and 71, that's Seton Southwest, they do almost 20,000 emergency room visits a year down there. So we suspect we'll do awfully well. And our budget is very, very conservative. We haven't planned for this gigantic influx of growth. However, we're making sure that we're capable of handling it if it does come. A lot of the employees that we have will be on a per diem basis. So as we get busier, we can use them more and more and more. And then hopefully convert them to full time. We haven't had a lot of problems finding staff either. With minimal advertising, we've had a tremendous response. We had one job fair where we had over 100 people come in. And again, we didn't advertise much for it. And I think we got 23 or 24 hires out of that. Again, being very selective.
What type of positions? What type of positions are you talking about? Was it medical staff?
All kinds. All kinds. Billers, coders, nurses, kind of across the board.
Are you going to have any therapists there?
We will. What kind of therapy are you asking about? What type of therapy?
Well, psychotherapy or stress management
Oh, that kind of therapy. Yeah, we do have physicians who have applied for privileges in those specialties as well.
and addiction specialists.
Well, we haven't seen, I don't know if we've seen anything for addiction specialty. That's a good question. I'd have to go back and look. You guys let me read through my list and then we can have questions. It's not very exciting to list to the list, though. It's not. Allergist Cancer Center, cardiac surgery, cardiac cath lab, cardiac unit, CT scanner, dentistry, EEG, EKG, EMB lab, emergency and urgent care services, endocrinology, endoscopy lab, ENT, family practice, gastroenterology, general acute care, general surgery, gynecology, hematology, hemodialysis, hospitalist, imaging and radiology, infectious disease, infusion therapy, intensive care unit, internal medicine, interventional radiology, labor and delivery, lithotripsy, MRI, medical detoxification. That's for when Brandon's buddies come in and they've drank so much the night before that they need to be medically detoxified. Neonatology, intensive care, nephrology, neurology, nuclear medicine, well baby nursery, obstetrics, occupational health, operating room, ophthalmology, oral maxillary surgery, orthopedic and sports surgery, outpatient surgery, pain medicine, pediatric services, PET CT, plastic surgery, podiatry, post-anesthesia care, primary care, pulmonology and critical care, pulmonary function lab. We got this great little box that costs a whole bunch of money, and they lock you inside this little box on a seat, and it gets to test your pulmonary function. Although I'm a little afraid to go in there. But when I first saw it, it looked like the machine on TV where they blow money around and you go in and you grab it up. But they haven't convinced me to go in yet. Sleep center, surgical services, telemetry, thoracic surgery, ultrasound, urology, vascular services, vascular surgery, and women's services. See, it wasn't that fun. But it's interesting to hear the big long list, to know that we will have nearly every service line. And we're really counting on the Community Advisory Board to help us determine what service lines are needed to help serve the community here as well. Yes, sir. You know, we do have some positions on staff that do that, but there are emergency jobs that do something. Could you do me a favor and just repeat the question? Did that answer your question?
So you do offer that service?
That's it. Any other questions?
Could you tell us about your background, David? How far you
My background, my first job out of college was as an accountant in a mid-sized not-for-profit hospital. I stayed there for a couple of years, and then moved to the dark side. Worked in a big for-profit chain hospital. Left there and went to work for a startup company that did the same thing. And for 6 or 7 years, I moved around the country, and as that hospital would buy distressed properties or distressed businesses, hospitals that weren't making any money, I would go in and turn them around, which is a very rewarding experience and sometimes a very unpleasant experience. And there are remarkable similarities to turning a business around as there is to opening something as complex as this. However, even as I thought I knew what I was getting myself into, I really didn't, because it is incredibly complex, and we're blessed with a wonderful team of folks that have done this before. Our partners at Surgical Development Partners have been wonderful. They're kind of our corporate partner. What they do is they specialize in putting deals together and opening hospitals. So they've done this before. You know, and my big fear when I talked to the folks about taking this job was, well, how do we know that we've done everything to be prepared to serve the public? And what if my 8-year-old son has another accident and I got to take him to the emergency room and we don't have a pediatric laryngoscope in there because I didn't know to check? And he said, well, there's no worries. We've done this before. They have a comprehensive list. We have an 8,000-page Bible that we work off of that is like a giant checklist. You know? 180 days out, you have to do this. And, 120 days out, you have to do all that. So it's been quite a process. And you get a little behind on stuff and a little ahead on some stuff. But it's coming together here at the end. It really is. Did that answer your question? Yes, ma'am.
Out of those 225 employees, can you give a breakdown of what percent would be the top salary tier, like the doctor?
I have no idea.
Really?
I'm not going to let you pin me down on that. I honestly don't know. I haven't looked at it. Okay. And top salary tier means, I'm not sure what that means to you, to me. Half a dozen maybe.
Okay. Yeah. You mentioned that only private rooms?
Yes.
How does that work with someone's insurance that doesn't pay for a private room? Are they have to go elsewhere?
No. As we're working through the process of getting all our contracts in place, how we work it is we don't have a rate page that says private room and semi-private room. We just have a page that says, per diem. Yeah.
And you have a helipad. Is there?
We do.
A trauma center?
We think down the road we'll probably build to a trauma center to better serve the community. When we open, we'll be capable of serving everything probably other than closed head injuries. And that's probably best served down at Seton, where they have a remarkable amount of resources, mostly physicians surrounding that. I think our equipment is every bit as good as theirs. And I think that because the neurosurgeons from Seton came out and looked at it and said, man, I wish I had this kind of great stuff at our place. But again, to kind of divide all those resources in more places, I don't know if that serves the community best or not. So if we have closed head injuries, they'll probably go downtown. But, you know, ST elevation, myocardial infarctions, we'll be able to take care of babies, cardiac surgery, the whole deal. Good question.
Do you accept Medicare and most insurance?
Yeah, you know, we're working through the process now of getting all those things finalized, and we may or may not have those done by the time we open, but what we'll do is make sure that as you come in, it wouldn't cost you any more to come to our place as we finalize, you know, the last details of the contracts. But we will. Yes, sir. It is. The second one sits on the developer's land. And it's something we have to always kind of explain is that we own the 12 or 8 or whatever, 10 acres the hospital, the building, and the garage that I wanted to have is packed onto. And then that big, huge thing of dirt you see between 6 and 20 and the road is owned by a developer. That's not ours. So their plan, as I'm told, as of earlier today, all subject to change at any time, is that they plan to have that pop out of the ground sometime this summer. So don't hold me to that because that's not my plan, that's their plan. Yeah.
Dave,
Yes,
when
ma'am.
will your next job fair be for people looking for administrative positions?
We will have a job fair as part of our open house this weekend on Sunday from 1 till 3 in the afternoon. We're going to have an open house, general public's welcome, bounce houses, face painting, helicopters, fire trucks, police cars. Am I missing anything, Brandon? On site. Hospital tours. So, and we'll have a booth set up there with HR and volunteer so we can kind of engage there.
And one last question. Will you have
Sunday
your own,
from 1 to 3.
you'll have your own lab there for phlebotomy and?
We have a stunningly remarkable lab.
Okay.
It is absolutely state of the art. So if you're in the emergency department and you get your lab drawn, most labs you go and one guy takes some out and then passes it down the thing. Ours is completely automated. You put in an assembly line, you push a button, it tells not only what the patient's name is, but what test is ordered, and then it goes down the lab and it goes into this machine and it runs all the tests, and it goes to the next machine and runs a duplicate test. And it's completely automated, so when the result comes out, it doesn't print out in a fax and someone's got to take it and put it on another fax machine that goes up to another department that comes out on another printer. It populates the medical record automatically, and a big flag goes up and says, your labs are back. So the nurse or the doctor who's taking care of you knows that. It is amazing. It's hard for me to explain how cool it is until you come and look at it. Yes, sir.
David, should we expect to see a flashy ad campaign, marketing launch for the hospital?
No, flashy, probably not. What we're doing on Brandon's advice, and he's a much smarter guy than probably the rest of us, we're doing a very concentrated ad campaign. We're trying to keep it within our primary service areas. So what you're going to see is community impact newspaper, because that's exactly our primary service area, right? And the other thing we're relying heavily on is homeowners association newsletters, because again, it goes exactly where we want it to be. We could put ads in the Statesman or on TV, but I don't know that you're paying a lot of money for a lot of coverage that you're never really going to get any bang for your buck for. So we've kind of taken a different approach and having it much more low key. Again, our budget's very, very conservative. We don't have any great expectations, and we certainly don't know that there's a lot of value in spending $1 million out of the gate. So flashy, no, but kind of low key and intelligent, we think, and well thought, yes. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah. Brandon is a Facebook guy, and he has done a great job maintaining our Facebook page for us. When you don't see any updates for a couple of days, call him and say, hey, you need to put an update on there. Well, we've done a lot of pretty cool things in there. People love to see pictures, so Brandon went in and put, there's a really cool deal. It's a slideshow of construction from the beginning of when the project started till now. That was a pretty neat deal. It took about 15 minutes. I don't know that I could ever get all that done. But and then we'll working on, as the hospital gets towards finish point, and we have some furniture in there and it starts to look like a hospital, what we'll do is have some folks come in and film some of it for us, and then have a YouTube presence, because YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. So we think we'll use some of that. Again, not real flashy and not real in your face, but that's really not our style. We're here to serve the community, and we think Seton does a great job, and they've been great partners for us, and St. David's does a great job. We're not here to steal their market share. We just want to offer folks the chance to stay close to home to have their health care. Yes, sir. All said and done, you know, it kind of depends on what the local demand is. The first phase will be 106 beds. We have 40 beds that are shelled out on the fourth floor, and then we can add somewhere between 100 and 150 in the back. Maybe 300. We could probably add more.
What are you projecting the time frame for total capacity?
I'm not. Demand will dictate. Again, demand will dictate, and the timing will be dictated by how many folks come through our door and trust us with their health care. So I think if we deliver a high-quality product, that will come sooner than we imagine. And then also service line-wise, we'll see what develops as well and what the community needs here, and then kind of build it around that. Does that make sense? Yeah. Yes, sir.
The ownership, tell me again a little bit about the ownership of the hospital and property.
The equity ownership, it's privately held. 26% is held by Surgical Development Partners, our corporate partners, and then the balance is held by individual investors.
How many individual investors?
I think probably 90% of that is held by 3 or 4 people.
3 or 4 people control, in essence, through their equity. Is that equity?
A couple of them have a board seat. I don't know that they control the hospital. The hospital's controlling body is the governing board. Did that answer your question? Okay. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
You mentioned you haven't been in touch with anyone related to addiction special treatment.
No,
Are you not a part of the Recovery Ways controversy?
we are not, and I will not be.
Okay. But, so who is it? The development company that has the land close to, but it's not your land?
That's correct.
One more question.
Yes, ma'am.
This is probably not a major priority. You want to get the hospital open,
Mhm.
but do you have thoughts of partnering with the high school, like kids in the medical science kind of interest and curriculum and?
Actually, we've taken a couple of real strong steps in that direction, and the folks at Lake Travis High School are in the medical track, or is that the right way to say it? But at Lake Travis, apparently, you can pick almost a major, I guess.
Yes.
I don't know if I'm describing it correctly, but so we've actually had those students over for tours of the hospital before it's open, so they can come and walk through the ORs and get exposed to all that kind of cool stuff. And we've arranged for some of them to have times where they follow physicians around. So absolutely, we're going to be heavily involved with them. We're setting up a partnership through a variety of sources to help with kids, as well as get us involved with other community outreach. We met today with a gentleman who runs a program that has 5,000 children participants for athletics, and about how we can partner with them. We're talking to Whole Foods. How can we do something with them? It's endless. Brandon's job as business development isn't marketing really driven. It's to figure out how can we partner with as many folks as possible. Yeah. Great question. Yes, sir.
I can kind of add to that. Being a family doc, I do a lot of education, and so I've taught a lot of nurse practitioners, physician assistants, but I get students all the time who just want to talk to me for a day, or for a week, or want to do their high school project. So I do definitely see myself in that role, because I see myself as an educator, and so I'll be definitely that process. So my first step actually is going to be getting involved in high school, actually sports physicals for all high school sports teams this summer. So they can get to know me, I can get to them.
Actually, what Kevin doesn't know, and that's what I'm telling him today, and also offer services, help out with all those 5,000 kids. I hope you are. Yeah, very good.
Might take a week or two.
That's right. That's right. Yes, ma'am. Oh, the magic question.
When is the next one in here?
When is it expected to open? April 16th, 7 a.m. Yes, yeah. We have 79% of our pre-opening staff hired. Pre-opening staff means what we need to open the hospital beforehand, right up till that time. And then afterwards, we, of course, add people as we get busier. No. I said we have several of those on staff to help us have a flex plan in case we become busier than we expect to be. Most of them are full-time. Yes, sir.
Dave, you read a really long list of
I did.
services.
I did.
And, but I think you said you're just opening with 6 doctors. Is that correct? Did I hear
No.
that?
6 employed physicians.
6 employed.
We have about 190 folks who have applied for privileges as the medical staff.
Okay.
I'll be very clear about that, yeah.
All right. And that long list of services, does
Mhm.
that mean those would come on board if there's demand for them?
No, they're already here.
They're already
They have
here.
a commitment, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Good question. I appreciate you giving me a chance to clarify.
My cardiologist is already out here. Capital cardiologist.
Yeah, good guy.
So, I'm sorry. So that would equate to approximately how many doctors?
190,
190.
yeah.
Okay.
Or maybe 150 and 40 nurse practitioners, nurse anesthetists, and whatnot.
So are most of those employees already here?
Yes. Most of the employees that we've hired we're switching from physicians to employees now, I want to be clear. Both, yes. Yeah, there's no huge influx coming. There's no 400 doctors moving in from out of town like Ken was saying on YouTube. Yes, sir.
When are you going to publish the names of the staff positions?
There's another magic question. As soon as we have the credentialing process completely finalized, and we've gone through a lot of those, and they've gone through, the process is you go to the department chair, and then you go to the credentialing committee, which is made up of all physicians, and then it goes to the medical executive committee for approval, and then it goes to the board for approval. We've moved probably half our medical staff through that process, and once we get that 100% complete, we'll publish it. But until that time,
It'll be about April 16th.
it'll be about April 15th, probably. Yeah. Yep.
You said there are 7 board members,
Yes, sir.
and are you chairman of the board?
No.
No,
We've not designated a board chair as of yet.
but you have one of the seats, of course,
I,
board seat.
I participate in the board. Wow. All right, guys. I can go home and see my kids for a little bit before I tuck them to bed. But thanks, everybody, for your time and a great question. Another question?
Do you know when the open house is? Is it Saturday and Sunday from 1 to 3 or Sunday 1 to 3?
Sunday, 1 to 3. Thank you for clarifying. 1 to 4.
Okay.
Thanks, Brandon.
That's the open house, not like career.
Open house. We'll have a booth and we'll have a volunteer booth.